The first use case you think about blockchain is payments, right? So that's the first thing you want to do, is show that you can secure a payment mechanism just like Visa, MasterCard, but much more secure, without middlemen, take away the fees, offers economies of scale. So the more people use it, the cheaper it gets. The way we view the future of value in the long term, 3 to 5 to 10 years, we view layer 1 blockchains will essentially become like the new republics. These will be the new mechanisms where all the value is going to proliferate to. In the future, there'll be the layer 1 blockchain, there will be the mining market, there'll be the dApps, and there'll be tokens. So the lower you get in the stack, the lower risk you have, but the lower rewards. The highest risk reward will be on the layer 1 blockchain, because that's where all the value will flow up. But it's highest value, highest risk. We view layer 1 blockchains, which is Bitcoin, Syscoin, Ethereum, as court systems. They need to be combative to the external forces that we don't control, even in the software world. In the real world, like inflation, hyperinflation, wars, these systems need to be secure from that. And this is why we view Bitcoin as the gold standard for security and decentralization. What else does the world need? What else does the world cherish when you have something like Bitcoin? How can we extend that to something else where we can take advantage to build real world utility? This is where Ethereum comes in. For me, Ethereum is a gold standard for flexibility or general computation. We're trying to stick to the gold standards we know the world's going to cherish and develop on, and we put those two concepts together. And this is what Syscoin is.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. In case you're not familiar, I am
that Hotep Jesus dude. That Hotep Jesus dude.
welcome. Again, if this is your first time here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button to get more of these wonderful and great informative presentations. Shout out to our sponsor, Syscoin, the best of Bitcoin and Ethereum. If you know anything about me, you've been paying attention to my recent streams, I am officially taking positions, investing in the Syscoin. This is not your average altcoin. This is something that has real use case scenario, great technology, and best of all, great security to secure your transactions. You saw the commercial beforehand. Make sure you go check them out at Syscoin. Without further ado, let's hop into today's presentation. Yesterday I did a Twitter Spaces like we do every Wednesday night with Wendy O. We talk about crypto and whatever else is going on in the world. And I misspoke and said that the individual was Republican. I was mistaken. The evil no good doer is actually a Democratic politician. So we're going to go into the story here in chronological order and see exactly what's going on with this Mr. Robert Tells. So let me make sure you can see us on your screen. Okay, wonderful. Good. I just accidentally opened up my chess program. My apologies. Okay, let's dive into it. So here we have a county office in turmoil with secret video and claims of bullying and hostility. So this is how this Robert Tells story sort of begins. At least that's what we're going to be picking up. And it talks about the office has been mired in turmoil and internal dissension over the past 2 years, with allegations of emotional stress, bullying, favoritism, leading to secret videotaping of the boss and a co-worker outside the office. Half a dozen current and former employees interviewed by the Review Journal are alleging the hostile work environment was fueled by the elected administrator of the office, Robert Tells, carrying on an inappropriate relationship. He's pulling some Bill Clinton stuff here with the staffer that has harmed the office's ability to deal with the public and overseeing the estates of those who have died. The staffer, Robert Lee Kennett, 45, has acted in some cases as an office supervisor beyond her, assigned beyond her assigned duties as one of the several estate coordinators because of her favored status, Whittel's employees said. Shout out to our super chatters. I appreciate you, Jabbar. You're going to get the super chats after I'm done running through this Democrat's life. So it continues on, and it says there's some emotional stress claims. It says here, Reed, who has worked at the office for 15 years, said she jumped into the race knowing she faces an uphill primary battle with Tells on June 14th. Her office is right next to his in the building at 515 Shadow Lane. Oh, this stuff is sort of ominous. Shadow Lane. I came to this decision not very easily because it affects my life dramatically, Reed said, but I want to do whatever I can to let the voters know that this is not the right man to be in charge of any department. We're always on guard and we're always under stress. All the people in this office deserve to be treated with respect and dignity, and the people we serve deserve to be treated with respect and dignity. Holdover staffers said they secretly videotaped Tells and Lee Kennett after work several times, slipping into the backseat of her Nissan Rogue earlier this year in the shadows of a high-rise mall parking garage. What? Y'all banging out in a parking garage? You're a politician. You got no budget for a hotel room? What kind of sleazeball stuff you got? Is it even comfortable to be getting it in a Nissan Rogue? What is a Nissan Rogue? I don't even know what a Nissan Rogue is. Let's see what they were banging in. Let's pull this car up and I'd love to see what the heck is going on here. Nissan Rogue. Okay, so we have an SUV. They're banging out in what appears to be, this is like a mini SUV too. I hope these are small people. That's going to be an uncomfortable time. Anyway, the staffers said they recorded the clandestine meetings to offer proof. Hit one in the chat if you can hear me just fine. To offer proof to county officials of the office dividing relationship. Blah, 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 blah. So then obviously he's denied this relationship, although these people seem to have videotaped him. And then it says there's problems of health of the employees. So that's in question. It says former boss Cahill said he is worried about the impact of the alleged bullying is having on employee health and their dealings with the public. These employees talk daily with people who have lost a loved one in their lives, he said. It's an emotional, stressful job, and to add a hostile work atmosphere to it is unacceptable. They're being harassed and the county doesn't seem to care, he said, and I just think that's nonsense. These employees are still county employees who have the rights of county employees. They're not his private employees. He literally works to create division in the office, she said. He's so vindictive and so horrible. Everyone looks like they're in a CYA situation all the time. What's CYA stand for? Chat, help me out. What the hell is CYA? I'm terrible with these algorithms. CYA. The hell does CYA mean? What the heck? Cover your ass. Okay. Cover your ass. That's a new one for me. Okay. In a cover your ass situation, people are depressed. They're physically ill. One staffer told me, I'd rather have a colonoscopy every day than come here and deal with him. Damn. Oh my God. Janie Osuzik, who worked as an executive assistant for 4 public administrators over 30 years, said she retired in April because she got frustrated with the hostile environment. You always had to be on guard, and it made the office uncomfortable because you knew there were certain people who would run to tell Tells on everything, even with lies, and he would accept it as true, she said. He would storm into my office and accuse me of things and never take time to investigate anything. Those of us who were not in his favor felt they weren't appreciated even after all the years of working in the office. It was a miserable workplace. When you beat up people, there's only so much energy and services they can provide, she said. You spend so much time combating these challenges and accusations and reprimands, it knocks you in the gut. It's like, here we go again, another lie, and you have to try to protect yourself. In regards to this relationship he was having in that Nissan, his relationship with her is harmful to the operations of the office, Reed said. She has become more and more powerful and noticeable. If she didn't like something, boom, she'd be marching into his office and there would be some change. So some pudenda in exchange for power. Very, very common amongst human beings. These allegations that I've chained people to the wall are bogus, he said. They make it sound as though everybody is miserable in this office. I've done my best to try and be nice and friendly this whole time. So this is what he's saying. And now let's go to the next article. This is an article here by CNN. CNN says, these are some of the stories Jeff German wrote about Robert Telles. Says county office in turmoil with secret video and claims of bullying and hostility, May 16, 2022. Says the Clark County Public Administrator's Office has been mired in turmoil and internal dissension over the past 2 years, with allegations of emotional stress, bullying, favoritism, leading to secret videotaping of the boss and a co-worker outside the office. A half dozen current and former employees interviewed by the Review Journal are alleging the hostile work environment was fueled by the elected administrator of the office, Robert Telles, carrying on an inappropriate relationship with the staffer that has harmed the office's ability to deal with the public and overseeing the estates of those who have died. So it's funny, his office actually deals in the death of people. And that relates to the next point we're about to read here. In a rare move, consultant hired to resolve turmoil in county office, May 26, 2022. In a rare move, top Clark County managers have hired a former coroner to tackle friction in the public administrator's office after multiple claims of bullying and favoritism. Michael Murphy was brought in to ease the turmoil following a Review Journal story revealing hostile workplace complaints against public administrator Robert Telles. Co-workers accused Telles of carrying on an inappropriate relationship with a staffer, including secret videotaping of him in the back of the Nissan. It says here, June 18, 2022, embattled county official losing re-election bid, post angry letter. The re-election of embattled Clark County Public Administrator Robert Telles is in jeopardy after a lackluster showing in his primary battle with two Democratic challengers, including his top assistant. Telles' lagging numbers follow a Review Journal investigation last month that uncovered an office in turmoil and claims of bullying, retaliation, inappropriate relationship. Let me go ahead and hit this here. Just want to make sure this isn't the same article I have. Oh no, this is a different one. Oh my. Embattled county official losing re-election bid, post angry letter. So this is his angry letter here. And here's Mr. Jeff, RIP to Mr. Jeff German. He wrote this article on June 18, 2022. And here's Robert Telles' tweet, and it says, does LVR know that J. German RJ may be doing double duty on their dime? Do they know he basically made a veiled threat to take me down, to make me take down my site with the truth after I already lost the election? And then here's the alleged text message. He said, Rob, I'm putting together another story on your office. This has to do with the letter you posted on your campaign website addressing hostile work allegations. Employees view this as a threat of retaliation. Employees view that as a threat of retaliation. I've reported to Human Resources. I'd like to get your comments on that, as well as your take on the election results so far. I would need something from you this afternoon. So here's something that Telles wrote. He said, after my opponent from the office announced her candidacy, her supporters in the office began to ramp up interference with our operations, Telles wrote. After the article, this included harassing other employees in office. Tragically, these other employees have suffered mental and physical effects. So this is Jeff. You guys can go ahead and read this. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but this is Jeff German, who is now deceased based upon murder. He was murdered. So there's another article here also by Jeff German. Jeff was on his ass. Pause. Let's see. I want to find the one where they talk about overtime pay. Hold on. Because he was also messing with people's money. And one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to mess with people's money. So let me go ahead and pull that article up. Let's go back here. I think I actually closed it by accident. Oh yeah. Is this it? Yeah, here we go. All right. So here in this article, county office in turmoil with secret video and claims of bullying and hostility. Again, Jeff German. And here, something funny happened with, so it says here, among the changes, Tell said he has made our closing estate cases faster and cutting back on large amounts of tax-funded overtime employees were getting under Cahill. He provided a document that showed one veteran employee received more than $140,000 overtime between 2017 and 2018. That was on top of the employee's combined $150,000 regular salary. An employee's overtime dropped roughly $13,500 in 2022 under Tell's. So it looks like he was messing with people's money. I think over 6 figures of overtime paid total, according to an anonymous source who tipped me off on this, has stated. They're basically saying he was playing with people's money. So now let's go to the juice. Police arrest county official and reporters stabbing death. This is by reviewjournal.com again. This one's written by David Ferrara, Brianna Erickson, and Glenn Pewitt. It says here, Clark County Public Administrator Robert Tell's was arrested on suspicion of murder Wednesday evening in a fatal stabbing of Las Vegas Review-Journal reporter Jeff German, whose investigation of a politician contributed to his primary election loss in June. Now, let me tell you something. If somebody's convicted of murder, or somebody commits a murder with a knife, oh, that person was definitely angry. There is definitely some anger management issues that person is dealing with. Usually, something less heinous would be with a firearm, but to stab somebody, I mean, you really have to be really angry to stab somebody and kill them. It says a stunning development came a day after Las Vegas police asked for the public's help in identifying a suspect in the case. An early morning search of Tell's home on Wednesday provided the first indication that the Friday killing might be related to German's work exposing public wrongdoing. The investigative reporter was pursuing a potential follow-up story on Tell's weeks before he was killed. Police arrived at Tell's home on Spanish Steps Lane in the Western Valley around 6:30 a.m., blocked off nearby streets. Before 9 a.m., they released a statement currently serving search warrants in connection with the homicide investigation. They provided no further information until Clark County Sheriff Joe Lombardo told Review Journal at around 6:30 p.m. that Tell's had been arrested. Shortly before that, a Review Journal photographer captured an image of Tell's on a stretcher as he was loaded into an ambulance. Now, I don't know why he left on a stretcher. Maybe the police harmed him, or maybe he faked a heart attack or something like that to get preferential treatment when he goes to the precinct and county jail or wherever. The arrest of Robert Tell's is at once an enormous relief and outrage for the Review Journal newsroom. Executive editor Glenn Cook said, "We're relieved Tell's is in custody and outraged that a colleague appears to have been killed for reporting on an elected official, blah, 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 blah." Now, let me just stop right there and segue into a previous point I've made plenty of times. So we discussed the truth on this channel. We discussed the truth on many different platforms. And people come and they ask me and they say, "Hotep Jesus, are you afraid for your life for telling the truth?" And I always answer, no, I'm not. And you know why? Because the type of reporting I do is usually secondhand. I'm not snooping into politicians' lives, etc., etc. And those people who are like that primary source who really dive into it, now those are the people that need to fear for their lives because you are directly attacking one individual. I, on the other hand, I usually don't attack individuals. I usually attack philosophies, ideas, and systems. But when you start dealing with attacking individuals, for example, the Clinton family. Some people call them the Clinton crime family, and people allege that people go missing that mess with the Clinton crime family. And these people are the ones that are closest to the truth. So these are the people that definitely need to watch their back. People like me, YouTube streamer, we don't have much to worry about unless I was to break the news, break the information on an entire individual, and then I might need security, etc., etc. So I just wanted to put that on your desk. Blah, 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 blah. Now, one Twitter personality tweeted out that, is it strange, as I'm paraphrasing, or what they said was, they said they killed the queen to distract from this story. Now we know Queen Elizabeth, I believe the second, has passed away. And wow, that's one hell of a conspiracy theory. I can neither confirm nor deny those allegations, but it is quite intriguing. What I also find intriguing is that this stuff went on for a very long time, past 2 years. And Mr. German did his best to warn people about this guy. And nobody knew anything about this, at least not nationally. Had this been a Republican candidate, I'm sure it would have been news headlines everywhere. But because this is a Democratic candidate, it's not being heard anywhere. I doubt you'll see this on the TV. I doubt you'll see heavy reporting on this. Everybody's reporting on, the MK Ultra kid who murdered a bunch of people. I don't know if he's MK Ultra. I'm just using that loosely. And Queen Elizabeth. But this story seems to be going under the radar. And Queen Elizabeth is the perfect cover for this story. Or they're talking about Kim Kardashian or AOC on the GQ cover, etc., etc. But there's plenty of distractions. Also, I'd like to just point out the destructive nature that seems to come from Democrats. Murder. We saw this with who was the gay dude, Democrat, I believe out in California, that was having like crackheads. He was sleeping with him or whatnot like that, and then they were turning up dead or something like that. Chat, help me out. Who? I can't remember his name. I want to say his last name starts with a B. NFL season starts tonight. Shout out to Kamar Daniel. NFL season starts tonight, so that's even more distractions. But I just like to illustrate the fact that the Democrats seem to always be surrounded by blood, and that's to be expected when you're dealing with socialists and communists, because according to Lenin, suffering is part of communism, creating suffering. Ed Buck, thank you. I knew it started with a B. Ed Buck. This is how these people roll. So you gotta be careful with these Democrat politicians. They play dirty. I don't even think dirty. We need a word with more weight than dirty, because evil doesn't cover it. Dirty doesn't cover it. Underhanded doesn't cover it. Odious doesn't cover it. We might need to make up a whole new word to describe these people. And I think it's absolutely disgusting that somebody was murdered because you lost an election race. It's not that serious, bro. Take your L and move along. Somebody said Andrew Gillum. Shout out to Jabari Judah. He said, we smoking on that British East India Company pack. I seen a meme. I think Jabari posted in the chat earlier. Africans celebrating after being colonized by Britain as the Queen passes away. I'm not gonna jump on that bandwagon, although I can laugh at the jokes that people have due to the track record of the evil British Empire. Shout out to the chat. Appreciate everybody in the chat for tuning in and showing love on this fine day. I don't think I have anything else to contribute. I'm gonna just take a look here. Oh, here's another. Oh my God, look at this mugshot of this gentleman. He definitely looks like the type to stab somebody. Is that the same story though? Is that him? Yeah, I think this is him. Yeesh! Look at this guy. Oh my God. Yeah, he's guilty. But we're not seeing this. I thought we would see this trend. But I haven't seen this trend. I was tipped off on this yesterday. Unfortunately, I was not able to get to YouTube and report on it. We were doing other things. I was living my life and trying to be the best dad I can be. So I wasn't able to report on it yesterday, but I'm glad because today is the day he was actually arrested. I think he was tracked down based upon his car, based upon his physical description. And now authorities say they found DNA linking him to the crime. Are you going to see this on your TV? I don't know. I seriously doubt this is going to make headline news. But I'm sure if this is a Republican candidate running for the primary, this would have been blasted all across the news. They would have added Jan 6, insurrection, Trump, extremist, right? So who's the real extremist here? If these people are committing murder because they lost a primary race, after taking a woman into a Nissan Rogue. I mean, where's the class? Take her to a nice hotel at the very least. The Nissan? The back of the Nissan? In a garage? In a park in the garage? Who's that horny? No, there's no way anybody. I haven't been that horny since I was 20 years old. This man is not 20 years old. What's going on in these people's lives? So we have that. We have a gross abuse of power in his office, leading to health concerns by his employees, and then ultimately murder. What more do you expect from the Democratic Party? Whose side are you on? I hope you guys plan on voting for Trump in the next election. I know I do. But anyway, my name is Hotep Jesus, and we'll be back later on tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for another classic episode of Hotep's Been Told You. So look out for that and hit the subscribe button if this is your first time. For people who have already been subscribed, turn on notifications. People are saying I'm shadow banned, whatever. YouTube can play their little games. Maybe it's me, maybe it's YouTube. I don't know. But turn on your notifications so you are aware. Also, if you donate to our homeschooling program, hotepnation.com, you will be invited to our Discord channel, and our Discord channel will also give you automatic updates on when any of the Hoteps go live, such as myself, Uncle Hotep, and Canon Hotep. Be well, Hotep, and build.